Why was it written to the extent either you know the self or you don't? Yes, that's correct, Sarthak. You either know the self or you don't. Now, this is a very difficult concept to explain to the extent. To the extent means to the extent you have grown spiritually, to the extent you become unselfish, to the extent you have approached the self. You're right that self realization is like a switch, it's on or off. But some people are very far away from that switch, some people have approached that switch. Let us say that, I don't know, some murderer is very, very far away from that switch. Then normal people like us, we are better than that horrible murderer. But we may not be as good as Mahatma Gandhi. He may be closer to that switch than we are. And something like that. There's a range. We are all in a range somewhere. So, to the extent means to the extent you have gone closer and closer to the state of self realization. But you're right insofar as that state itself is a switch on or off. There are only two possibilities. You can't be partially realized. For people who don't yearn for knowledge, it's understandable that they run after desires all their lives. But for people who consistently work on their wisdom and fulfill their biggest desires, it doesn't make sense for them to keep doing the same thing. As a youngster, I might not be able to peer into the future, but as someone who's been around the block, what's your take on this? I don't know what you want my opinion on, Sarada. What you're saying is true. I'm like, what is it you want me to say? If you don't yearn for knowledge, you will run after desires. But people who consistently work on wisdom and fulfill their biggest desires, it doesn't make sense for them to keep doing the same thing. So, give context, please, because yes,
Ma'am, the context is that desires never end, and it's never ending journey. They will keep coming. And I'm like, why? There's majorly four or five desires that majorly all human beings have. You fulfill them, and that's done. Gone. Tata bye bye. For people who are consistently pursuing wisdom along with that, otherwise they will diversify and all those other problems will happen. But for those who are pursuing wisdom, it doesn't make sense for them to happen the same thing.
yes, correct. It won't
Okay, that's
happen.
all I
Otherwise,
wanted to
why
know.
are we recommending people pursue wisdom? If the same thing is going to happen to them, वो भी मरने वाले हैं, ये भी मरने वाले हैं, कुछ भी करो.
मैम मेरे को लगा सेल्फ नॉलेज तक, जब तक सेल्फ नॉलेज अराइज नहीं होगी तब तक दोनों एक ही बोट में है.
It's like saying जब तक PhD नहीं करोगे तब तक you're ignorant. It's कोई फर्स्ट स्टैंडर्ड में है, कोई MA में है, थोड़ा डिफरेंस तो होगा ही ना इन दोनों में.
और उनके फुलफिलमेंट में भी डिफरेंस होगा मैम.
Or in their fulfillment, in what sense? In the sense that how they feel, yeah, of course, big difference. How you,
Because they are perceiving things differently than the person who's not pursuing knowledge, obviously.
yes, but the big difference is not just that. A big difference is also lies in the effort they are currently doing. There may be one person who is in first standard, he's putting in a lot of effort. The other one is in MA second year, he's putting in no effort. The fellow who's in first standard will reach PhD first.
Yeah, that you always taught us, that we have to always have a goal in the mind. That's easy.
Okay. So, yeah, so of course there'll be a difference in their fulfillment, assuming they're both putting in equal effort. Then there's a big difference in their fulfillment. There's a big difference in what they are desiring. That is the whole role of higher desires. Say, Mahatma Gandhi at one point must have said, I want to get married, have children, do my barristership, have a good professional career. He must have said this, no, at some point. That's why he
Mm-hmm.
went to London, he did his barristership. It was the highest degree of that time. You know what they said about the barristers? They said that um, the what the public schools built up the British Empire, because their education in public schools was so good. So they built up the British Empire. But the Inns of Court knocked it down again. Inns of Court is where you become a barrister. It's the only place in the world where you can get the degree of barristership. So all our Gandhi, Nehru, all these people, Nelson Mandela, everybody went there. They got their highest education, came back and asked for independence. So they said they're Inns of Court because almost all the great names were barristers at that time. Wouldn't it be cool if after 20 years, all the great names and all the great fields were from Vedanta University? How cool is that?
Yes, ma'am. Actually, I also wanted to pursue higher education. So yeah, I'm always scared that if I like take hand of this one desire, two more will come. Okay, two more will come. I also accept that. Then three more will come. चलो वो भी देख लेंगे लेकिन फिर उससे ज्यादा बढ़ेगा तो फिर it's like this is never ending.
No, but the question is for what? That's why I gave you Gandhi's example. Gandhi moved from, I will become a good professional to I will give
Be a
independence
freedom
to my
fighter.
country. So there's a world of difference between the Gandhi who wanted wife and children and professional career and, whatever, and I'll dress well and I'll be well known and all, whatever, everything, whatever you are calling for, five desires. I will look so good and all the girls will be interested in me. We will move from that level to what's my service? What am I doing with my life?
So
What's
the
my
person
purpose?
evolves and their desires evolve with them.
No,
Is
no,
basically
no.
what.
When their desires evolve, he is called an evolved person. When their desires are for the greater good, such a person is called an evolved person.
And the evolution of desire will come from wisdom, working on wisdom.
Yes, from knowledge, yes. From working on knowledge, which then becomes wisdom. When it's wisdom, then you already have the higher desire. Wisdom means having higher desires.
Okay. Thank you.